We're delighted to have a spectacular group of works by Henk Pierneef in our upcoming auction. I'll point out a few of them here. The first being this fabulous painting from 1929 of Tulbach in the Western Cape. There's so many things I love about this painting. The very painterly elements in the foreground, very impressionistic in style. I love the very moody purple silhouette of the mountains in the midground. I also love the Tetris-like sky and cloudscape that he's produced with these feathery little brushstrokes of white and cream and pink and lavender. Those of you that know his print output will also recognize this building. He used this exact view for a very well-known etching from 1930. Shortly after this work was painted, Pierneef produced these two works on the farm Klipriiersberg in present-day Alberton. This is a view that he also used in a much larger format for one of the murals for the Johannesburg railway station that were completed in 1932. Now, I think Pierneef certainly had a very soft spot, not only for this farm, but for the Meyer family that had established this farm in the 1840s. There's so many fabulous elements to these works, very painterly, very impressionistic, fabulous subtleties in terms of the color. I love the terracotta of the roofs, this electric line in the fields in the midground. Here we are seeing the original stable block on the farm. It was painted on the 23rd of February 1932. I love how specific that is. Also, I love how it shows how freely Pierneef could paint. This would have been worked up in the moment, and you really get a sense of Henk Pierneef sitting here in front of these stables on that day, summer 1932. The stables look exactly as they did in 1932. This work, a bushfeld scene, is a little bit later, a decade later. In fact, this is 1942, and it's very much in the mode of his popular works from that period. Yes, it shows his beloved bushveld. Yes, it shows these sky-reaching trees, but they are very architectonic in the way they are put together and presented. I do love the feathery elements of the grasses in a very similar way to the cloudscape from the Tulbach painting. Finally, this small-scale work is a real gem. It's from 1927, so we know it was painted shortly after his return from his hugely influential trip to Europe, starting in the July of 1925 and finishing in the early months of 1926. During that trip, he was exposed directly to various guises of European avant-garde and modernisms. And in a work like this, you see the competing influences going through his mind at the time. Whilst he worked in very geometric mode shortly after his return, he also spent a lot of time thinking through ideas around divisionism, impressionism, and pointillism. And I think this is a fabulous example from that way of thinking.
These works feature on our upcoming live virtual auction taking place on Tuesday, 16th May at our Johannesburg offices at 89 Central Street, Houghton.